Howdy, everyone. Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello. How's it going? Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining a fella here for another one, another live one. As a matter of fact, New West Reset Live, episode 168 here today, Sunday, April 26th, 2026. It's just a wee bit past 5 p.m. local time, mountain time. And as always, we're coming at you live from the mountains, the foothills of the Canadian Rocky Mountains, right here in Calgary, Alberta, up in Canada land there. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for winding down your weekend here with yours truly. Good to see all of you. Hope everybody is doing well. If you haven't already, please do all the things. You know, it just kind of helps to push a fella out into the algo. Thank you to everybody who's already subscribed, shared. Appreciate that. So today we're going to be looking at curious headlines. We've done this topic a couple of times on the live show. Mysterious discoveries, weird things, just stuff that comes up in my feed, you know, in the news and whatnot. So I've got a couple of articles, and for the format of the show tonight, what we are going to do is we're going to check out an article, then we'll go and figure out where this place is, according to the article, you know, some weird thing they've discovered in some town or city somewhere or whatever. Then we'll take a look at some photos of that area, and then we'll go on to the next article, and bada boom, bada bing. Actually, I have two articles, so we'll do one, take a mid-show break, come back, and wrap it up with the second. Sound good? Sound good? So thanks for being here. Thanks for winding down your weekend, and thanks for joining me on the Sunday Fun Day show. Woo! If you were watching this after the live, thank you very much for all of your support. I really appreciate you. Links below for everything we're going to cover, all the articles mentioned and whatnot, as well as how you can get a hold of a fella here on the channel. You know, if you got an article of your own you want to share, or maybe you've taken some photos or video and you want me to feature them on the show, you can get a hold of me below. BitChute, YouTube, email, and of course, Rumble. Because as always, we're broadcasting simultaneously on the HooTubes and on the Bumble, the green fatten platform. So howdy everyone on YouTube and Rumble. Down there is also my location map, courtesy of Cousin Vinny. It shows you everywhere in Alberta, in Purdy, Alberta, that yours truly right here has done some boots on the ground. So let's get on to the good stuff by first and foremost saying hello to everyone in the chat, in the box. Say howdy. Let me know how you're doing. What's happening? Let's go. What's happening, baby? Hippie Shake is here. Howdy, Hippie. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Hippie got me. Speaking of Hippie, Channel Fitty Tree is here. Hello. Old Architecture Investigations from Hood River, Oregon. Not that far from here, actually. Just a stone's throw away. Howdy, Baja. Baja in the box. Hello. What in tarnation is going on around here? Tarnation is old school word, I bet. Yeah, well, have you heard of tar babies? That's tarnation. Reference to the area of the town where the black folks live is basically what that's referring to.
Oh, that's cold.
I'm just saying. It's where it comes from. Plain spoken Jane, hello. Welcome. Good to see you. There's Ross over at Water the Tree. Congrats on 500 subscribers, Ross. Well done, sir. Well done. Now, you know what's happened now, right? Is the algorithm now is going to open the floodgates for all the trolls to come and troll your channel. Yeah. There's certain benchmarks that you achieve in your channel, subscriber wise. And once you hit those benchmarks and surpass them, it opens up new features for your channel and so on and so forth. And, all the things they talk about, they being YouTube. It also opens up to all kinds of crazies and kooks and weirdos and so on and so forth. Hello, Charles. Charles is here. Good to see you. Howdy, howdy. There's KJ. Ken Lee Jackson is here, everyone. Good to see you. Cheers, Tommy. Tommy Rogers in the box. Hello, hello. There is Newim. Good day, good day. Hello, hello. Good to see you. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Again, we're going to be looking at Curious Headlines, Mysterious Discoveries, episode 168 here on the live show. And as a reminder, links below for everything we're going to look at here. So without further ado, what do you say we kick things off with the very first article? Now, these aren't brand spanking new. Some of them are from, a few weeks or a few months ago. But it's stuff that I've sort of pinned, put a pin in it or set it on the back burner. And, just so I could maybe put some stuff together. And lo and behold, here we are. So this one is archaeologists stumped by extremely rare circular Roman era tomb. This is from The Independent. It's an article from The Independent on msn.com. So take that with a grain of salt, of course, as usual. I know I'm preaching to the choir with everybody in the box when I say stuff like that, but So archaeologists stumped by extremely rare. Why do they have extremely rare in quotations? I don't know. Circular Roman era tomb. Already planting the seed of doubt? Is that what's going on here? Anyway, it's from about 6 months ago. Archaeologists in Germany's Bavaria. Guten Tag. Das ist sehr gut. Anyway, they've unearthed, an elaborately constructed but empty circular stone grave they suspect to be a, quote, again, extremely rare, unquote, Roman era burial mound. The stone circle was uncovered, during construction work next to an old Roman road in the town of Eichstätt, researchers said. Eichstätt? Probably butchering that because nein sprachen sie Deutsch. Sorry. Mr. Infinite in the box. Hello, hello. Howdy. So further excavations revealed a particularly remarkable, again in quotations, 12-meter wide circular structure with carefully fitted stones, indicating it was indeed a Roman burial mound or tumulus, a type that has rarely been documented in this ancient province. 12 meters wide is 30 feet-ish, give or take. The contents of the burial mound, which archaeologists described as yawning emptiness, also raise questions. Since there were no signs of skeletons or grave goods inside the structure, they assumed this could have been a symbolic grave or cenotaph built as a memorial tomb to commemorate a person buried elsewhere. Isn't that funny whenever archaeologists or anthropologists find something and they don't know what it is? They always say it's probably a tomb or an old grave or something, but there's nothing in it. There's no remains, no bones, no evidence of an animal burrowing into this thing and dragging away the remains? Nothing. Still, it's probably a grave. All right. You say so, I guess. The tomb was both a place of remembrance and an expression of social status. We hadn't expected to discover a funerary monument this age and size here, said Matthias Matthias Feil, Curator General of the Bavarian State Office for Monument Preservation. Although several Roman burial sites are known from the Augsburg region of Germany, tumuli with stone ring walls of this scale are extremely rare in the former province of Raetia. I don't know. Researchers wrote in a translated statement referring to a province of the Roman Empire. Interesting so far. So again, a lot of scientists and experts shrugging shoulders, so on and so forth. Hello, Sandra. That's Yazgirly in the box. Howdy. So Central Europe and Italy already had a long tradition of such burial mounds. In the northwestern provinces of the ancient Roman Empire, including modern-day Germany, they appear from the 1st century AD onward, archaeologists say. Previously discovered burial mounds in and around this region of Europe usually date to the older Bronze and Iron Ages. So this is a section of the wall here in Bavaria they've unearthed. Wunderbar! I don't know. However, the kind of stone-based walls seen in the latest excavation seems to follow later Mediterranean models. Based on these findings, researchers suspect that it could point to a deliberate revival of pre-Roman, especially Celtic, burial customs. I know it's Celtic, but the Boston basketball team call themselves the Celtics. So, you know, a naive, sheltered Canadian like myself gets confused as to how it's pronounced. So, Celtic, me no know. The burial mound's location directly beside an already known Roman-era road leading from Nassenfels into the Utmühl Valley, as well as proximity to a Roman country estate, supports this interpretation, experts say. The Roman tomb of Volkertshofen is therefore of special importance for future research on Roman life in Bavaria. Researchers write. So there you go. What do you think of that? Again, to me, it just seems like when they don't know what it is, they say it's a tomb, or barring that, a place of worship or prayer, or a place of high importance, high spiritual importance. So, I don't know. Looks to me like it's just the top of a buried circular wall. Could have been a circular structure. Could have been a tower. I don't know. Anyways, found that to be rather interesting. So that, that raised fella's antenna a little bit. Anyways, let's have a look at where they say this place was, or close to where this place was. And again, I just went with the Wikipedia, because that's what most folks that are like, hey, what's this all about? If they go to the Goggle machine and they Google it, one of the first things that comes up in the Google search is going to be the Wikipedia. So, might as well see what the, John and Q public citizen, normies are being spoon fed by going to what most other sources copy and paste or clip and paste from Wikipedia anyways, and that's the Wikipedia itself. So Eichstatt. So Eichstatt is a town in the federal state of Bavaria, Germany, and capital of the district of Eichstatt. It's located on the Ultmühl River and has a population of around 13,000 peoples. Eichstatt is also the seat of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Eichstatt. So it's on both sides of this Ultmühl River in district of Eichstatt in Bavaria, in the heart of Ultmühl Valley Nature Park. Oh, it looks lovely. So it's famous for quarries. It's obviously mountainous and lovely. All right, let's see what's going on here for the history of this place. Saint Willibald, who's he? 8th century bishop, okay, founded the Diocese of Eichstatt on the site of an old Roman station. So there was already something there, but he founded it. In other words, found it? Is that what you mean? In 741. My mistake. Said he was given walls and chartered in 1908. He was just given some walls, was it? It's here's some walls. What's going on? Got a delivery. Hello, Eichstatt? Yeah, I got a delivery here for you, bud. Oh, just a bunch of beasts of burden pulling carts of section of walls here for you. Got it from ye olde Walmart.
I don't believe you.
No, you don't have to pay for them. We're just going to give them to you, bud. We're just going to give them to you. Okay. It's fine. That's fine. It's given walls. And then it was chartered. Okay, chartering, sure. But it was just given some walls, was it? I guess they have to come up with something to explain the walls that were founded, excuse me. Oh, man. Already it's ridiculous. It was ruled by a prince bishop in the Holy Roman Empire. It was a seat of the bishopric of Eichstatt until secularization in 1802. In 1806, it became part of the Kingdom of Bavaria. Eichstatt was included as part of the Principality of Eichstatt, which King Maximilian I granted to his son-in-law, Eugene de Beauharnais. Eugene de Beauharnais. What kind of handle is that exactly?
I can't understand a word you said the whole time.
Did you eat some peanut butter or something?
Yeah, you sound like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of your mouth.
I think what you are hearing is my accent. I am French.
Hello, Wiley. Wiley Metz from Montana land in the box. Good to see you. There's 6R. Hello, bud. Good to see you. Howdy. So they gave it to Gene here. Eugene. 1817. And an episcopal was reestablished in 1821 and reverted to the Bavarian crown in 1855. So it's changing hands back and forth. In 1870, the remains of Saint Walpurga, were transferred from the original Heidenheim interment to Eichstatt, where in 1035, the newer burial site was enshrined as the Benedictine Abbey of Saint Walburga, which continues to this day. Then they jump all the way to 1943. Painter Carl Friedrich Lippmann moved to Eichstätt and stayed until 1955. Oh, I guess we do have something here. Hortus Eichstättensis Garden at Eichstätt is the name of an important botanical book, first published in 1603 and written by Basilius Besseler. Ah, okay. Looks like William Shakespeare. Then there were some problems with W.W. Deuce. Anything else of any significance? No population demographics at all. Did I see? Did I blow past it? No. All right. There you go. Eichstätt, where these supposed super rare ancient Roman era burial grounds were found. Alice has found a penny from 1942 yesterday. Pretty cool, dude. Yeah, that is cool. Hello, Paul. Paul Thaddeus in the box over on Rumble. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for shooting in. Hello, hello. I've got some pennies going back to Canadian pennies going back to 19 teens. Then I have a few British pennies and half pennies from the 1880s, 1890s. I featured my coin collection here on the channel before in the past. A bunch of them have dates with a J or an I instead of a 1. And also a lot of the cool artwork that's stamped into these old coins as they struck into these old coins as they're minted. Roberto, buonasera. Howdy, Glenn. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Yeah, some of the symbology struck into the artwork of these coins. Fasces and all kinds of castles and crazy stuff in the sky and all kinds of nonsense. Unbelievable. The artwork was very intricate and very amazing. So, yeah. Anyways, what do you say we have a quick look at Eichstätt? This here place. Eichstätt. I'm going to say Eichstätt, okay? It's just much easier. I'm sorry. I'm going to anglicize it. I'm going to Canadianize it there, eh? Because, well, I tell you, it's a mouthful. You know, my apologies to any Bavarians listening, but it's not the best. So here we go. Eichstätt, Bavaria, Germany. Lovely place. Look at this place. Look at this. Looks like you've got a garden area. You got some kind of gazebo here. Look at this, orchards and stuff. Probably fruit tree orchards. I'm speculating. I'm guessing. This wonderful structure here with this beautiful detail on it. Of course, you know, steeples and spires and towers all over the place. This design seems quite popular in the old world. I even see it here in Calgary, Alberta, up in Canada land, buddy. Just nestled in this little cradle here between, you know, this sort of high plateau and mountains. Again, with the river running through here. You can see it meandering in the background here. And of course, you got a tower with a dome, with a cupola. There's something on that top of that thing. Really large structures. This is obviously from a postcard or something. So they have touched up the photo. They usually ink in some blacks to add contrast, may highlight some white as well, just to give it some punch and some pop. That's basically what a lot of content creators refer to when they say, old world Photoshop. You find a photo like this and it's very clearly been manipulated. Sometimes it's not as obvious as this. But in either case, it gives us a nice idea of what we're talking about here. There it is today. Absolutely lovely. Again, that design. Oh, there's dome. There's that building we just saw. A couple of towers here with spires. It's some kind of crazy twin devices on here. Some kind of antiquitech, perhaps. Don't know. Just speculating. This looks wonky up here, too. You got to have a railing here. Why? Nobody goes up here. I think some guy, somebody from the church, some cleric, some padre is going up the stairs. Hey, all the way up to clangety clang clang a bell. Especially a lot of places ring the bell on the hour, every hour, 7 days a week. I doubt it. Maybe this was some kind of docking tower, not landing tower, docking tower for a dirigible, some kind of airship. I don't know, just speculating. There's gold doohickey back here. Hello. Thought we wouldn't see you, but we got you there, bud. Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely stunning. There's the thumbnail. What a view. Look at this. Lush, green, beautiful. I want to go to this place. I want to fly to the nearest city and then get to this town and just hang out here for 2 days. Oh, guten Tag, Fraulein. Beautiful. Look at this. So this is the kind of thing that makes a guy scratch his head. Obviously, I have what I'm going to guess is 2, maybe 3 stages of construction. So there we had some destruction. Then it had to be repaired. I don't know if that's WW1 or 2 related or some other skirmish in the history in and around here. Some kind of siege in the Middle Ages. I don't know. Look at this. This is very impressive, though. It's not really a river, is it? More of a canal, which I suspect a lot of what we were told are rivers that flow right through the middle of your city or town were at one time actually canals. And after the most recent large event, the damage hit a lot of what was former infrastructure, like these nice sharp stone walls here. They go right down under the water. So who built this way back then to have this old home or inn or this old building on top of it? How long has this been here? And then we're just going to put some arch windows in the 2 there, bud. Not to mention all of this and the bridge. And they just put some giant wooden beams between these 2 places. And I'm just going to build right here, pal. This is amazing. There's an old covered bridge, Sleepy Hollow, headless horseman style. Going right into the trees. Look how beautiful this is. Absolutely, absolutely mind-blowing. I would agree with that. Old Architecture Investigations says they were highly skilled and bored back then. Well, yeah, everybody was skilled labor. There was no such thing as unskilled labor, right? Everybody could just build a straight, plumb, and flush and level tower that's true and tight out of stone, multiple stories, of, I don't know, so I'm going to just throw a date. 1800, the year 1800. It looks way older. If you were to say 1200, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But I mean, just for sake of argument. There's less than 20,000 people in this place today. How many when this was built? Would they round up every man, woman, and child in town? Or drop what you're doing, everybody. We got to build this tower here. Schnell. It's a beautiful place. I'm not making fun of it, actually. I'm just making fun of the, the narrative. Look at this beautiful fountain here, right in the old town square. All this paving stone and brick. And then just this, there's that detail again. I guess we see it a lot in Germany or Bavaria, but it's not unique to that area. Again, I've seen old buildings in Calgary, just here in Alberta, Canada land, buddy, that have this profile. Still has some kind of weird doohickey on it, too. I agree. Plain Spoken Jane says the narrative is hilarious. Hello, Angel. Angel Dreams in the Box. Good to see you. Good to see you. You live on a canal. Ah, there you go. Whatever this structure is, I don't know. Town hall, some kind of government building, I don't know. Something important enough to have a clock tower and all this song and dance on it. What's the 4 look like? It looks like an IV. Yes. Got an IV, people. Yes. Fantastic. It's not supposed to be 4 eyes for the Roman numeral 4. Look at this. Still has the bell and the mechanism in it. It's a big flywheel. So they're actually pulling a rope from either down on the street level, or maybe they go up a flight of stairs to a sort of a mezzanine at the base of the tower. And that's what they're pulling to ring the bell. They're not climbing all the way up here, stopping to have a smoke break halfway up there, eh? And then finishing and then ringing the bell, clickety click, climbing all the way back down. Hey, only to an hour later, here we go. It's kind of cool that all the mechanisms and everything are still in there. You would think that in Bavaria or in the German, the country of Germany, WW1, WW2, by their own narrative, they took all the bells out of everything and melted them down because they needed them for the boom booms. They needed them for the whore. A gorgeous place. Look at this complicated angle. Again, we're seeing that shape, but this time in the millwork. Mansard roof. Roof. Look at these capitals here. Exquisite, man. Oh, gingerbreading I'm just noticing here on these arches. Wow. All this nonsense. Faces above these windows and these dormers. You can't stop. Portals. I mean, it's just amazing. Amazing. What's this? Gold. Yeah, it's some kind of precious metal insignia on the front of our building. It's fine. What a place, man. What a place. Channel 53 says there's one hell of a facade on that blue one. Yeah. Look at these windows too, It's like a fairy tale town, says Kathy Broughton. I would go along with that. Plain Spoken Jane is giving us some mysterious headlines right here, her own self. In the chat, she says there were some bells found at the bottom of a fjord in Norway recently. What a shame. It's a nice close-up of that fountain. Absolutely exquisite. I don't know who this guy is. some popera, or maybe what was it, the bishop that founded this place? It's probably that guy. What kind of crazy He-Man villain type of staff is this? I'm going to throw a fireball at you. Yes? Jawohl. Und now here I'm commencing with the lightning. Yeah? It's like you're doing battle in Mortal Kombat. Strange. Strange. I wonder what that's a symbol of. It looks like a dragon. Or it's the Fibonacci sequence. Could be the Fibonacci sequence. What we got here? Ah, yes, the green man. Spitting some water. A dragon. Looking like a dragon anyway. Some kind of fish or something here. On its belly. With its tail up. Coat of arms with a sword here. And some kind of staff with some kind of bebopule on it. I don't know. It gets a little piccolated if I zip in too much, you know. Look at this in the background though. Lovely, man. Like I said, I want to go and visit this place. I'd love to just hang out here for a couple days. Just take so many photos and videos of this place. Yeah, some pope. Just some popera. I mean, I'm sure there's a plaque here to tell us who they want us to think this is. You know, it's just some popera. That's a great shot with the sun hitting it just right. Beautiful. Look at this goof. I'm just going to look at my phone. I'm sorry. Und eyeballing is eins telephonic. Or how? I'm sorry, I don't speak German. But with all of this around, I'd get a sore neck. If I lived in this building and I need to go to the shops across the street here, every time I just descended my beautiful stairs that come out of this gorgeous mill doorway, just across this plaza, to go in here to get some, you know, loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. By the time I got back, it'd be like I'd been watching a tennis match. My neck is killing me from looking around at all this beauty. I mean, I guess you would get used to it. I don't know. I highly doubt it. At least nobody who's, you know, become awake to the BS. Maybe we just look at things differently. Well, I think obviously we look at things differently. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I wish I knew when this photo was taken. It was probably taken in the 2000 teens. So, you know, back when you had high trust societies of good people that looked after each other and took pride in who they were, where they were from, and where they lived. You know, you walk past your neighbor and guten Tag. Oh, guten Tag, Herr. You know, you got a cup from your cup of coffee to go, or your cup of tea to go, or whatever, your macchiato to go. You don't just toss it in the street when you're done. You crumple it up and you toss it in the bin. Throw it in the garbage can. If there ain't one around, well, you hang on to that thing till you see one, you know? But yeah, I agree. Yeah, very clean, very pretty, says Teresa. Good to see you, Teresa. Hello. How you doing? Okay, let's see. What is this? I'm going to guess it's City Hall. I can't read that for nothing. Nice little bijou balcony here with all this song and dance above what's a lovely door, but it looks stumpy because look how low these windows are. If you're walking by in the street, the bottom of this window is going to be at your hip, but then it slopes downward. Then it slopes down even more back here. So I'm thinking this is mud flooded, and this was a much larger, taller, grander entrance at one point, and this level was much lower. By this level, I mean street level. And rather than being able to clear all this away when they founded this area, they just sort of smoothed it out as best they could And then we're just going to cover it up with all of these stones and bricks and make it all fancy. The bricks they used were probably from buildings that they couldn't save and renovate. Howdy, Mr. Pete. Hello. Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you. My bad. It was an Austrian lake. Yeah, either way. Either way. Again, it's not taking away from its beauty. It's a lovely place, man. It's a beautiful structure. It just looks on this lower floor, it looks a little stumpy to a guy. Especially the way these windows are arranged. This one's really high. This one's really low. Like, almost like the ceiling is really low here, but it's fine here and here. I don't know. The proportions are off on this thing. Maybe it was originally 2 floors only. And when they, they couldn't salvage the lower floor, they just said, F it, we need 3 floors, and this one's only 2. Let's separate it. Let's make this 1 floor, a 2nd floor, and a 3rd floor. But maybe this was 1 floor, and then there was another entire floor, the same size and proportion as this one. I'm only speculating, but that's what it looks like to me. That it's missing from here down, this much under here, at least. And then, of course, it's basement and it's foundation level. So it just looks funny. Looks hokey, hinky. We'll talk about something that looks mud flooded. Look at this. I mean, it's so bad here that they're holding back the earth with stones and logs. And I mean, you could use this to plant, though. Like step terraced gardens. I don't know what this structure was. It looks ancient, though. Absolutely ancient. You see, you have a really tall arched window here, a whole row of them up along top, and then short stumpy ones, but it looks like there's been some monkeying around. There's been some funny business here. That's just, again, it's just how it looks to me. I bet you if a guy was to poke around to the other side of this building, the windows would be like this on the other side, but the ground would be right under the windows, a foot at the most underneath the windows. So somebody has come along at some point and blocked in or bricked in and then smeared something over schmutz or whatever over them, whatever. These lower windows that were at one time the same height as these. I reckon. I guess so. I don't know. I'm speculating yes. This actually looks, now that I look at it, it looks like old stairs with a railing. And this place has been here a long time. And then the one next to it, some goofy graffiti on it. Thanks, 8 holes. Looks smooth like an adobe or some kind of schmutz, but it looks broken away here, and you can see it's stones underneath, or what appear to be big stones, big block stones. So, yeah, very interesting place. Very, very interesting, to say the least. Scott Pikes here. He says, creepy vibes. Mr. Pete says, skullduggery. Yes, skullduggery. Or as we like to say around here,
shenanigans.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there it is. Shenanigans. Absolutely, Kathy. Monkey business, says plain spoken Jane. Yeah, see, Baja's agreeing with you. It's kind of spooky building, dude. It's kind of a spooky building. Creepy vibes. And that's the thing. That's one of the narratives they'll lay on us too, right? is they purposely let it get all run down and stained, and mold grows on it, or ivy, and birds and bats and rats are living in it, hobos and ne'er-do-wells, until they get kicked out by whomever. It's probably some bank or something that owns the property. So they let it waste away so they could have it condemned and knocked down, or it catches fire. Arsonist, everybody. Some hobo keeping warm in the winter, or whatever the case may be. And it's a shame. And that's one of the narratives is, ooh, it's creepy and spooky. And they like to perpetuate those narratives. Hell, a lot of times they'll attach a ghost story to some building. Whatever side of the fence you're on with ghosts, or what we might call ghosts, that's irrelevant. But what I'm saying is that's one of the narratives that they'll slap on an old world building. And it's either to, if it's in this condition, it's to keep people away. Ooh, and only, thrill seekers and fringe type people or super curious people might check it out with the whole ghost narrative. Or if it's a beautiful building that's been maintained, but it's very obviously old world that's been monkeyed with and renovated, they might keep that ghost story narrative to help drum up business for the building, but it's a distraction from the actual physical characteristics of the building. You're more interested in the spookiness rather than the weirdo, strange stuff that's going on with just how this thing, we're told, is constructed. You build like this? This puts a lot of pressure on this wall and this other wall, the opposite wall, as the land, which is obviously sloping downward here, is constantly pushing against it. So if they build these walls stronger than this wall, I don't know. You know what I mean? It just seems like it would be a lot easier to just level out a whole bunch of, a whole big spot there, bud. Build your building. And then, 10 feet away from the side of your building, you build a big retaining wall to hold back all of this stuff. You're capable of building a 3-story stone structure. So why wouldn't you build a big stone retaining wall and have this be all level so you don't have to worry about moisture getting in there and tree roots? There's trees growing right here. Those tree roots are busting into this, through this wall eventually. This tree too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm just dwelling on it a little too much, but it's a great photo because it points to a lot of what many of us talk about. As an example, if there was some kind of catastrophic event, me personally, I think there was more than one. And I think the most recent is what we would call a mudflood. And subsequent, much like earthquakes, subsequent smaller mud floods that kind of fell in the wake of the big mud flood that was almost realm wide. Like tremors, mud flood tremors. For a really long time afterwards. And they were more isolated and localized, not on quite such a macro scale. And prior to that, I think there was another type of event, some kind of, I don't know, electrical melt, heat, discharge thing of some kind, like a short circuit or something. I don't know, for lack of a better term, right? For want of a better word. Short circuit. Anyway. Going off on a tangent here. Perfect time to take a quick mid-show break. So if you're new to the channel, first of all, howdy, welcome. Thank you very much for all of your support. But also, if you've been around for a while, as a reminder, every Wednesday, I do what I call a vintage footage video. I upload that here on the channel. Take old video footage, street scenes or old trains or what have you, put it together with some music, and I put it up every Wednesday. But what I like to do is on the Sunday live show, give you a little preview, a little sneak peek of it. Every Friday, I do boots on the ground, and every Sunday back here for the live show. So this week is no different. So what have we got coming up here for you? This one is going to be from 1925. It's the old Ford Model T factory. Right up here in Canada land, eh? Built for tough, eh? I guess. Built for tough, eh, buddy? Oh, for sure there, bud. Anyway, from 1925, building the Model T in the Ford factory here in Canada land. 4 minutes, 6 seconds. This is a good one too. So smoke them if you got them. Put your ear goggles on. You know, your ear cans, your head cans. Turn it up to 11. And we'll see you on the other side of 4 minutes and 6 seconds. All right. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. All right, and we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Howdy. Frankie here, New West Reset. Thank you very much for joining me here. I appreciate you shooting in and joining me for another one, another live one. As a matter of fact, New West Reset Live, episode 168 here today. We're looking at curious headlines and mysterious discoveries, stuff that's just come up in my feed and so on in the last few months or so. Top half of the show, we looked at what we were told is ancient Roman stuff found in Bavaria, now Germany. We had a look at Eichstätt, Bavaria, Germany. So thank you very much for being here. What'd you think of that old video? It was pretty good, right? Yeah, beautiful old cars back then. Yeah, I like those, the old Fords, old Chevys, the old, all of them. The old Dodges, the Plymouths, the Packards. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you very much for being here. If you haven't already, please do all the things. And as always, remember, links below for everything that we've covered so far at the top half of the show. Thanks for winding down your weekend here with yours truly on the Sunday Fun Day Show. Woo! Woo! Teresa Gregory is here. Got Kathy Broughton in the box as well. Scott Pike. Ryan's here as well. Howdy, Ryan. Hippie Shake. Thank you very much, Hippie. Fast and Furious with sharing the links. You're the best in the biz, Hippie Shake. Thank you. Channel 53. 6 hours here as well. Plain Spoken Jane. Betty Watts. Hello, howdy. Mr. Infinite in the box as well. Neo William is here. Baja is here. Howdy, Mr. Pete. Hello. Good to see all of you. Again, thank you very much for being here. Noah's here. Noah Montague. Howdy. Yas girly, that's Sandra, don't you know? So thanks, everyone, for being here. Really appreciate it. $33 of you watching right now. Wow. Thank you very much. Don't forget, again, make sure you're still subscribed. Thanks to everybody who's shared and subscribed already. Thanks for doing all the things, everybody. And again, links below. So the first one was from MSN. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Take all of these with a grain of salt, including what I say with my nonsense. Of course, I know I'm preaching to the choir. Never take anything at face value. Always got to ask questions,
No more questions. Don't ask any more questions.
Don't listen to that big hairy guy. Always ask questions. Anyway, this is from Popular Mechanics. Archaeologists find an ancient Roman military camp hiding 7,000 feet high in the sky. So again, up in the mountains, in the Alps, if you will. And again, it's ancient Roman. Again, this time they went with military as opposed to burial or some kind of spiritual or holy structure or final resting place or what have you. Anyways, here we go. Let's see what this has to say. The ancient Roman army didn't seem to be afraid of anything, but they definitely weren't afraid of heights. As evidenced by the discovery of a 2,000-year-old Roman military camp located 7,000 feet above sea level in the Swiss Alps. By the way, when's this article from? March 15th. As archaeologists continue to explore the history of the Roman army in what is now Switzerland, a volunteer unearthed a previously unknown military camp in the mountains, strategically positioned to have tactical views of the surrounding valleys and mountain passes, according to a translated statement from the canton of Graubünden. Graubünden. Again, you're going to have to forgive my mispronunciations. You know, I'm an ignorant, sheltered Canadian. Not only did archaeologists discover the ditches and a wall of the camp, so again, another stone wall, but they also found lead sling bullets bearing the stamp of the Roman 3rd Legion. That's a helpful giveaway. Aha. So right there, that's why they couldn't call it some kind of ancient, mysterious, religious landmark of some sort. Yeah, sounds like it. I mean, more often than not, right? Even in the UK, even in the freaking Alps, it's like the Romans, it's like the entire realm was lousy with them. They were everywhere. Yeah, I agree, Kathy Broughton. Those archaeologists claim everything is Roman. Go along with that. So since 2021, a team from the University of Basel has researched the landscape in the Crap Says. Is that supposed to be seas? Either way, that's a terrible name. The Crap Seas area? Really? The Crap Seas.
So now you know what I'm talking about with the
I hit the wrong clip there. I meant to hit the laughing meme at the Crap Seas. Anyways, between Kunther and Tiefenkaster. Really, the Crap Seas between Kunther and Tiefenkaster, in collaboration with the Graubünden Archaeological Service. That is a mouthful. An absolute mouthful. How'd you know I was here? There he is, Cousin Vinny. There, now, you see, we can do the...
So now you know what I'm talking about with the whole New West Reset thing.
No.
What?
No.
What I said about Frankie Fingers.
Oh.
That Frankie Fingers
yeah.
a New West Reset of the sand.
Wait, what? Cousin Vinny on Freemason. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Because, you know, you get Cousin Vinny over here, you're going to get your Frankie Fingers over here. Anyways, that was a... Anyway, I got to move beyond the Crap Seas and Kunter. But anyway, the focus has been on a Roman battlefield in the Oberhalbstein Alps, located in eastern Switzerland. The research took quite the turn, though. In fall 2023, when a volunteer working on the project discovered what the statement calls a striking terrain structure in the Combe La Runga corridor, about 3,000 feet above the battlefield. Using a high-resolution digital terrain model and LiDAR data, the team investigated the hilltop site. LiDAR features laser scanning of the ground to show even slight height differences in the terrain as grayscale image. And in the Combe La Runga corridor, it revealed the profile of the artificial fortification of the hilltop. So the hilltop isn't the hilltop. There's something built on the hilltop. Resting undisturbed for 2 millennia, 7,000 feet high in the Swiss Alps, the previously unknown Roman military camp was fortified by 3 ditches and a wall with ramparts. The site of the camp offers a view of the 4 key valleys: Landwassertal. I brutalized that one, sorry. Albulatal, Domleschg, and Circes, and Lenzenheide, a heavily traveled mountain passageway. The perch gave Roman soldiers stationed at the camp a perfect vantage point to spot any incoming enemies. A team of students from the university joined volunteers in August to research the structures inside the wall ditch system. So far, the find has yielded weapons and equipment belonging to Roman soldiers, including lead sling bullets and boot nails. The slingshot lead bears the stamp of the 3rd Legion, which was involved in the battle at Crapsees. I remember the Battle of the Crapsees. Man, it was awful. Giving experts an obvious tie between the ancient battlefield and the newly discovered military camp. The dating of the artifacts also links the camp to the same time period as the battlefield, roughly 2,000 years ago. Oh, well, that's pretty convenient, right? That's just super, super convenient. It's just perfect.
I think I can smell shite. Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
The discovery helps experts track the advancement of Roman forces 2,000 years ago with precision, showing their movement from Bergel over the Septimer Pass to the Typhon Castle area, and from there towards Chur and the Alpine Rhine Valley. The statement said that the sensational discovery of a Roman military camp in Graubünden shows once again that archaeological research into Roman Switzerland continues to hold great surprises. There you go. What did you think of that? It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Rome aficionado. Yeah, well, in the last article at the top half of the show, they only had one photo. So what are you going to do? I'm more interested in these areas, like Kunter. Kunter? I'm sorry, that's what it's called. Cunter. What's the guy going to do? Howdy, Stephanie. That's Babylon Fox in the box. Good to see you. I don't know. Let's look into this Kunter first. You realize I'm purposely pronouncing it Kunter because I don't be taking any guff. All right, let's go to Wikipedia here for Kunter. Kunter, Romanish in German. Konters Oberhalbstein. So it's still using its old Romanish. It's a Romance language of the Gallo-Romance and or Rhito-Romance branch of languages spoken predominantly in the Swiss canton of the Grisons. Okay, so it's a language in Switzerland. It's Switzerland. Okay. All right. Don't get me started now, Ross. Okay, don't. Anyways, it's a village and former municipality in the Circes, in the district of Albula, in the canton of Graubünden, in Switzerland. January 1st, 2016, the former municipalities of Bivio, Kunter, Marmorera, Moulins, Riom Parsons, Saluf, Savignon, Sur, and Tinazog Rona. Man. Merged to form the new municipality of Circes. It's known for having an unusual and profane name in English, There it is. Wikipedia said it. I didn't say it. But all of these, yeah, just unite all these terribly named mouthful towns and just put them all under one. Simple to say, simple to. It doesn't matter where you're from. You're from France, Canada, the U.S., the U.K. You're from Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, wherever. Hungary. You can look at that and go, what, sources? Yeah, close enough, bud. We know where you're talking about. It's first mentioned in 1730 as Contra. As of 2006, 7.1 square kilometers, or just under 7 square miles, is used, or 33%, 32.3, is used for agricultural purposes. It's forested. It's in a mountain pass. Ooh, beautiful. Wow. Hamlets of Bervognen, I don't know. Promastigel and Mundschecht. It was known as Kunters im Oberhalbstein. Yeah, okay. Oh, here we get some population. 1850, 182 people. 2010, 240 people. A bustling metropolis there in the Alps. I guess it's because it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's just a little place. It's just right, again, right along some river, right in a mountain pass, in a nice little sort of valley, right in the mountains. I mean, they're not going to have heavy industry in here, obviously. Probably the biggest thing going is skiing. So yeah, just some little mountain hamlet. I do have some photos of Kunter. Yeah, that's right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, I do. And, well, it's, let's just say, if you made it through the first half of the show with that file, we'll be fine on this one too, but it's got some goofy stuff. It's got some goofy stuff, to say the least. By the way, I shared sort of a preview with some of these photos yesterday, just in a community post. So some of these, if you checked out that post, you would have seen these already. But each one I've got between half a dozen and a dozen or so photos. So there's quite a bit to see here. So this is Kunter, Switzerland, in the Alps. So much like the top half of the show, in the Bavarian Alps, so kind of sticking in the Alps here. So it's easy to get distracted by, wow, look at all that snow. Is that how it is there in Canada land, Frankie? Yeah, it is. But, look at this. Some kind of weirdo tech on top. It's kind of interesting. Again, it's a terrible photo because it's taken out of some kind of, I don't know, magazine, newspaper, something. But there it is. Very slopey. Looking very sort of mudfloody. Kind of interesting stuff going on back here. Oh, yes, of course, there it is. Tiny little place. Yeah, these look like ski chalets. You have homes, right? But then these here, so you've probably got a lot of skiing going on. So these places, there's probably not a lot of folks staying in them year round. What's going on way down here and over here? And this wall here, curved stone wall, excuse me. Kind of interesting. Something down here, maybe. More stone wall here. Here. Stone walls going on. See what else we got. Stone structures too. Look at this place. Wow. Much like that other one, you've got more revealed on this side, and then it kind of looks like it's sloping up here at the back a little bit. But this one's a behemoth. It's already a story taller than the first one we looked at, top half of the show. Something intriguing way up here on this hillside too. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, they get a lot of snow here. So yeah, skiing is going to be their bag here, Daddy. That's their bag. Another stone wall. This place is gorgeous. Mansard roof. Not sure what you need this on a hotel for. The Belvedere. Oh, Belvedere. Come here, boy. Yeah, I mean, it does look beautiful. Again, I'm not making fun of these places. I do have to watch my tongue with every sentence. You're correct. I mean, we always kind of had to a certain extent. But as Kathy's mentioning here, trying my best not to get another one of those. That's right. I haven't even been using the term and the hand signal shooting in very often, just in case. But so sensitive these days. Anyway, absolutely gorgeous. A lot of snow over there, bud. This looks like, by the way, speaking of snow, it snowed all day here yesterday. It's starting to melt-ish because it's only -2 Celsius right now, which is about 30-ish Fahrenheit. But it snowed all day. Not much accumulated because a lot of it was melting rather quickly. So it didn't really get a chance to build up much, but I would say a good couple inches, a few centimeters. That's right. April 26th, April 25th is when it snowed. It snowed a bit this morning too. For maybe an hour. Not heavy, but you know. But yeah, beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Mansard roof up here too, right? With the dormers in it. Exquisite. And look at the setting. It looks like Banff in Banff National Park, right here in Purdy, Alberta. Right in the mountain parks in Alberta. Canada's first national park, actually, in the Rockies. Banff National Park. Look at this crazy hotel. I'm not really 100% confident in the structural integrity of this gangway style terrace or balcony. Just got like what, 5 freaking wooden beams protruding out of here. You don't have any kind of anchor beam. Oh, all right. That's how they do it in Switzerland, I guess. You just know this is all covered in schmutz, right? Stucco. It's probably stone or brick. They put a phony or a fake foundation around here. I mean, it's still lovely, and the area is still beautiful. Look at this. Mr. Infinite's snowed here yesterday. A skiff. Yeah, really, eh? Huh. Look at this place. At first I thought this was brick, but no, it's got some kind of fancy, or maybe it's brick and this is I'm sorry, the photo is not super best quality. It gets a little pickleated. Maybe some kind of medallion applique on there or something, but these pediments are quite beautiful. I guess that's supposed to be a cross, some kind of weirdo tech. This too. Some kind of ball. Why do you need a ball there if there's a cross? I think, again, too, look at this. I think these windows went down lower. These used to come down to here. Now, why they would do that on the top floor rather than a lower mud-flooded floor, I don't know. except for maybe they added a floor onto this thing. And at one time it was all like super tall ceilings. Or maybe it was all super tall ceilings, but there was a mezzanine floor, and they've since enclosed it in as an enclosed second floor. So then they had to cover up these windows. I don't know. Again, I've never been in here. This way over in Switzerland, man. This is in Kunter, Switzerland. I'm just speculating by how weird it looks here on the sides. And this looks like an afterthought shack built out of the side of it. Probably staircase going up into here. Anyway, it's still beautiful with all of this. Yeah, you can bet they are. Baja says those walls are thick. You can see by how recessed the framed glass is in the window. That's recessed back in there about what, a meter? 3 feet? Like, what are you trying to prevent from getting in there, bud? Look at this. And then there's down here, there's arches. And then these sort of newel posts, whatever they're called. So that, somebody doesn't tumble their dumbass off over the edge of this entire lower stone level of this big, gorgeous stone thing. And again, this still has some kind of weirdo. Oh, no, this is maybe modern satellite. What's this, an old TV antenna? Okay, maybe this is more modern. Like, by modern, I mean 70s and 90s technology. Ah, that's more like it. There we go. That's Antiquitech. Not to mention this. I don't know what that is. Is that a smudge? I don't know. Little one's all on here too, right? I think these angles with these dormers in here are easy to do. Huh? You think that's easy? You try it. I don't think it's easy. Look at this. Looking like a White Stripes album cover. Ba, 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 ba. Go to Wichita. Anyway, sorry. Went way off into the weeds on that one. Gorgeous structure, though. And again, look at the setting. Have mercy. Beautiful. Oh, this thing looking much more ancient. Look, it's got a funny little portal here, opening up here, and opening down here. Then something used to be here because they've built a roof over the dang thing right here. Either that or it's maybe this is a painting or a mural now that I look at it, and they're trying to protect it. But there's something here, or was something here, that they're trying to protect. And now you've got some openings way down under here. They just built their crappy fence right along here. Possibly built in stages. I don't know. But look at this. Look at the spire on this thing. Again, those complicated angles, man. And then whatever this doohickey is supposed to be. Whatever that is supposed to be. Oh, shucks. I like to play around. I like to play around. Not the best singer out there, though. I'll tell you what. Anyway, that is just a little sample, just a little taste of Kunter, Switzerland. Kunter, Switzerland. Yeah, it could be that's that additional portion built onto that That one side, I'm going to call it the front. This maybe has a hayloft and there's maybe stables or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Feed barn of some kind. Baja says, I say roof, not roof. Some people say roof. I've heard people say roof. Most people I know or hear say roof. But again, Canadians to you Americans and folks overseas in the UK and in Europe and whatnot, when they hear Canadians say roof, like the whole oot and a boot thing, which I don't think we're saying it like that. Come on. I know the difference between a boot that you put on your foot, about, and a boat, as in what goes in the water, a boat. A boat, about, and a boot. Quit playing. It hurts our feelings up here. We're sensitive Canadians. Anyway, let's have a look at that other place that was mentioned. Typhon Castle? Typhon Castle? Again, the Wikipedia. Typhon Castle. In Romansk, it's Kasti. It's a village and former municipality in the district of Albula, in the canton of Graubünden, Switzerland. Did we already go over all this? No, I don't think we did. Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Was I goofing around so much I lost track of where I was? Or is it just very similar to the previous one we looked at? Howdy, Bradley. Bradley Johnson in the box. PCS World this year. Hello, hello. Good to see you. It's first mentioned in 831 as Castello Impitinus. Okay, Impitinus. Starting around the 14th century, it was known as Tuffenkosten. Tuffenkosten. My cousin Vinny on Freemason in the box says, one day I was in Boston listening to a Canadian radio hockey broadcast, and they suddenly sounded so Canadian. Well, that's because you're probably hearing the broadcasters, they're from Toronto. And that's that, that when I goof around and exaggerate my own Canadian accent, that's what I go with, is the Ontario area Canadian accent there, bud. That one that you see all the time on YouTube there, eh, bud? That's the one, right? Before the merger, Typhon Castle had a total area of, 6 square miles, 15 square kilometers. 20% used for agriculture, 50% is forested. Population demographics, 1850, 135 people. In the year 2010, 269 people. It has an average of 98 days of rain every year. Wow. Its wettest month is August. Yeesh, that's a terrible summer there, bud. It's a terrible summer. At least our wettest month is in June, which isn't the best. I'd rather it be in April, but no, we're still busy getting snow in April around here there, eh? So, got to wait till June, I guess. But no, they got rain in August over there. Heritage sites of national significance. The Church of St. Stephen is located as a Swiss heritage sites of national significance. The church was first mentioned in 1343. In 1650, it was rebuilt and expanded by Capuchin monks. I thought it was Capuchin monkeys. Maybe I'm just watching too much Sir David Attenborough nature programs. I love those things. And now we see the yellow-bellied sapsucker performing its native mating dance. Suddenly a female appears, and she seems captivated by the undulating movements of the male's tail feathers. You know, that kind of stuff. Anyway, during this renovation, it was given extensive wood carvings and paintings. Ah, okay. So they gussied up the place. In other words, they found some rough old place and they decided to spruce it up and claim it for themselves. Again, I'm just speculating. I'm just asking questions. That's all it is. I'm just asking questions.
Let me ask you something. How come you asking so many jackassy questions?
Anyways, they've got a railway that operates trains to Typhon Castle. It was struck by a landslide and derailed a kilometer west of the station. 11 people were injured. Ouch. Yeah, on that bridge, which we'll have a look at. This amazing stone bridge. But yeah, again, just a tiny little town or hamlet. They've discovered somewhere between this place and Quinter the remains of some ancient Roman fortress. Very, very interesting indeed, I must say. So let's have a look at this Typhon Castle. Typhon Castle? Again, you'll have to excuse my pronunciation because I do not speak Swiss. So I know they do speak French in some parts of Switzerland. But my filthy pig dog version of French is, French Canadian. So it's probably, let's just say it's gonna, they're not going to like to hear it. It's not going to sound like music. It won't be music to their ears. Put it to you that way. It's not going to be music to the ears whatsoever. Let's see here. Sorry, having the same technical difficulty as last week for some reason. Funny that, isn't it? There we go. Sig says, hey, who's rolling what? I missed something? And Kathy says, Sig, Frankie was doing his David Attenborough impression. Plain spoken Jane says, captivating impression. Why, thank you. Anyway, there's a tiny picture, so if I zoom it in too much, very pickolated, but you can see him again. Lovely little mountain hamlet there in Switzerland. You know what's funny I find about all these? They all seem to be centered or almost built around or centered around, the steepled biggest structure, which we're told is, the church or the town hall or this was neat. There's the old ye olde train station there. And again, the picturesque background here, just mountains everywhere. Skiing. Ah, look, Volkswagen, Farfanugan. It's lovely. There's the river, which we'll have a closer look at here in a second. Hey, just hang on. Don't get ahead of me now, people in the chat. What you thinking, Frankie? Zoom in on that thing. Hang on there. Look, there's a wall here with a turret or a tower. And it looks like some openings underneath this, what I'm going to call now is a viaduct. Not an aqueduct, a viaduct. So we raised platform roadway. which explain why all of these look mud flooded. This has all been cleared away and built up. But you can get underneath it from here. At least that's what it looks like to me. And then there's a wall here. But no, some of the roads are all just snaky. It's like they're following around this citadel. And at one point, this thing was maybe a star fort or a small star. It was a small star fort or a small star city. Not a huge star city like some of the ones you see in Holland, or, what old New York, New Amsterdam used to be, or what old Quebec City up here in Canada land still is. It's still a star city, the old city in Quebec City. This one has just seen a lot more destruction. Again, I'm just speculating. Because everything is all just hinky, janky, higgledy-piggledy. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's still lovely, though. Again, I'm not making fun of the place. It looks absolutely stupendous. I'd love to hang out here. These are the types of places that it looks like I'd like to live there. I think when I'm 65, I'm going to retire there. You know what I mean? Typhon Castle. First things first, right here in the foreground. That's very interesting. You got all kinds of weirdo walls with different materials in them back here. So this is the ground level, or close to it. So everything is just built up and down, because the street level is higher on the front side of these buildings, if you catch my drift. Anyway, this is fascinating. Looks like they've, put a modern concrete over some of this, maybe. And I'm sure there's lots of patchwork, repair work over the years, additions to certain things. Like this, they've clearly paved and added this modern junk. But at one point, it seems like when this was being built, somebody had the wherewithal to build these stairs that you could just pop, up the stairs you go, beep, beep, boop, down the stairs you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You don't need to get all intricate and crazy. Just, 6 stones, and Robert's your mother's brother. More walls way up here, over here. Cute little place, though. And this is beautiful. There it is. Again, you got to have some kind of precious metal medallion right there on the front of your building. 1591? Possibly? 1591.
I don't believe you.
I mean, again, anything's possible, but so I guess some of these were added, the millwork and some of the paintings and so on. Either way, it's exquisite. We got 4 1s here. You clowns. Why? 9 doesn't have a V with 4 1s after it. It's got an X with a 1 in front of it. It's an IX for 9. So why wouldn't you do IV for 4? Anyway. It's actually more exquisite on the inside than the outside. Not to take anything away from that tower on the top of that tower with that onion dome. And the cupola. But, I mean, this is jaw-dropping. I mean, every little bit of this is just exquisite. Up here, all of this cornice work. These rosettes. And again, if, different time periods, they say, paintings and millwork and that sort of thing was added, in the 1600s or whatever that was. Either way, There's not even 300 people that live here. Not even 300 people ever that have lived here. Ever. But they're not messing around. They're not messing around. It's beautiful. There's that bridge. This has got to be some kind of, I mean, I don't even, like, just, what did you just, this was just built like this for choo-choos? Is that what you're, that's what it is. This was built just to get a train from this tunnel blasted through this mountain to the other side. To go from one village with 200 people to another village with 300 people in it. Is that what this, that's why this was built? And again, it looks like it was built in stages, maybe, I don't know. Not really sure why, but I mean, that's the story, people. That's the story.
Well, that's just silly. Silly, yes. Idiotic, yes.
Yeah, apex of engineering, says Mr. Infinite. I will give you that, Hippie. I mean, you know, making fun of, you know, the official, his story and all of that aside. Again, I'm not making fun of the towns themselves or how picturesque and beautiful they are, and also the photography. Like, wherever these photographers are standing to take these photos, or if they're in a, I don't know, a hot air balloon, or I don't know what they're doing. A chopper? They're in a helicopter? I don't know. But yes, I agree. Great photos. All right, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We've got a couple of nice hotels here. Look at this. Doesn't really look Swiss to me. Maybe it's Inuit, or what we used to call Eskimo, but we're not allowed to say that anymore. We can't say that anymore. Anyway, look at this. I think that is exactly. Don't know. These are hotels here. You can see there's a stone wall down here. Again, this is modern, obviously. There's a stone wall that goes all the way down. So all this is built up on top of lower stone substructure. Could be, yeah, drone. Could very well be. Incredible tunnel diggers also, the Swiss, yeah. When they're not building cuckoo clocks and making fine chocolate, I guess they're just burrowing through all of these granite tunnels or granite mountains making tunnels. All right, let's give you a top down. So there's their river. Just takes this hairpin turn here. And it goes from being a river to what I would call a canal. So I suspect that a lot of what we're told are rivers are actually canals. But look how high the stone is. From way down, let's see the river's, I don't know, let's be ridiculous and say the river's only a foot deep. The top of the water is only a foot from the riverbed. Look how tall that is. And then, you know, and this builds up. But on the other side, on the street, this darker yellow color is below ground on the street facing side. So how far does this bloody thing go down, man? Well, there's your answer. And this is definitely a canal. I mean, look at the turn this thing takes. It's not a river. It's not a river. This is not a river. This is the wall for a canal. And then on top of this wall, underneath this hotel and under this hotel is another, I'm not even going to say it's a wall. It's a structure. It's the substructure. But we know it goes further down. We saw it from the previous photo. Just from this angle, you don't see that it goes all the way down on this side, all the way down. There's more stone than there is hotel. And this, look at this underneath here. It's been all covered in concrete and schmutz, and they've added a pedway, a modern walkway, but still underneath here. Let's look at it from another angle here. Look, all under here. Way down under here. Here's the other side. Stone wall also. This is not a river. There's no way this is a river. Noah says, I think all of the rivers are canals. It's possible that a majority of what we now call rivers, canals. Fondue, yeah, well, yeah, of course, you got to think about the fondue. Hippie says, I love cheese. Cheese is tasty. Yep, indeed. Absolutely, yeah, you got to mind your business. That's right. You know, there's nothing to see here. This just is incredible to me. Like, imagine all of the work, all of the man hours, all the materials, the logistics of getting the materials there. Even if you're just dragging in big rocks and breaking them down into smaller stones, and then just, you have a semi-skilled stone cutter just to roughly fashion them into somewhat roughly the same size. So even if you try to cheat a flip some kind of mental explanation by saying, well, we can hand wave this away, saying, well, they had unskilled labor to drag the stuff here and to bash it up into smaller bits. And then we had guys that were sort of a little bit more skilled that could break it down into building block size. Even with all of that, it's just such an amazing, massive feat. They've got all of these curves, and it's got to be strong enough to withstand the force of this water. That's going to have mountain runoff in the spring. So this probably this water comes right up to the edge of this wall. It's probably summer here, maybe. It's come down a bit. I don't know. But I mean, all of this, man. In the winter, it's a lot lower, obviously. But just imagine what was going on to construct this. Everything that had to be in place and had to be used. And again, it's not like the railroad was coming in with loads of stones. No, this was all built before all of that. Supposedly a bunch of Romans or monks or whatever built these things, some Capuchin monks or what have you.
It was super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Anyway, just absolutely amazing to me, but completely baffling and unbelievable. But I don't know. Share your thoughts. What do you folks think? Because wowee, that's a lot of stone. That's a lot of stacking stones there for a Capuchin monk. Capuchin monkey? No, Capuchin monk. Yeah, it could be that if you were to clear away all that other stuff, it could be just built on top of a Starfort base. Anyways, yeah, Capuchin monks. Howdy, Ubu. Good to see you. He says, I'm not familiar with that branch of monks. They've evolved. Yeah, they evolved from monkeys to monks, those Capuchins. I swear I always thought there was a Capuchin monkey. But I'd not heard of I've heard of Benedictine monks and, all the Gregorian monks, all them other monks. But Capuchin, if I did know that, I forgot. Find me a monk holding a hammer, says Sig. Yeah. I heard that. So there you go. What did you think of that? Coming up on 2 hours here, so I'm getting ready to wind this thing down very shortly. Before I do, I've got a few exciting announcements, a couple of things I'm very excited about getting very, very close to the finish line with the director's cut, redux, redo of Reset 1700, my mudflood documentary. If you're not familiar with that, it was a documentary that I did and released last summer. It was about 45 minutes long. And it was my attempt to explain what I'm seeing in my immediate area here. Southwestern Canada, or the Pacific Northwest of the United States, along the Pacific coast, British Columbia, Washington State, Oregon, California, Northern California, right up to and just east of the slopes of the Canadian Rockies and the Cascadian Rockies. I was seeing a lot of mysterious things in around here doing boots on the ground, not just in the city of Calgary here. Oh, and to answer the question earlier, I use my Galaxy cell phone and a gimbal to do my video, my boots on the ground videos. Anyway, my phone is new from last year, so it's pretty good. It's way better than my old phone. My older videos are questionable at best. But anyway, I'd seen strange stuff in Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, and all kinds of cities and towns, large and small, in my travels, over the last 4+ decades that I've lived here in Alberta. And just the research doing online. Not only the research that I do, but others in our line of work do. We're just seeing a lot of the same things all over the realm, and I was seeing it here. And I know that there was some sort of natural disaster on a quite a macro scale in fairly recent times that was documented from multiple sources. In fact, there was 2 of them. So I attempted to answer a few questions, or at least speculate and hypothesize or theorize, to explain away evidence of mudflood and other destruction and a reset in my immediate area with this fairly recent past catastrophic event. I had it up on the channel for maybe a month, and then it got flagged and taken down by YouTube, and I received a copyright strike for that, which I have 4 days for. FOMO days, everybody. FOMO. And then I'm back to 100%. But anyways, as a result of that, I decided to rework the documentary, add in some deleted scenes, rework the audio, and just spruce it up a little bit. And, just add in some stuff that maybe I cut for various reasons, and give you a director's cut, an expanded edition, which will be Reset 1700 Redux, redo. So look for that to be coming out very shortly here, just in the next couple of months as we move into summer. Right around that same time, speaking of summer, June is the 5-year anniversary of little old me here in New West Reset on my channel. So I'm going to be having a lot of celebrations to thank all of you for all of your support these past 5 years, including a meetup mudflood walkabout tour of the old Mission District right here in Calgary that actually established its roots, supposedly before Calgary was even a town. It was just an old fort, an old fur trading post, and a mounted police fort. The town came after the French-Canadian Roman Catholic Jesuit mission town or village that was built out here back in the 1870s and 1880s. So we're going to meet up there, grab some coffee and some snacks, do a mudflood walkabout of the area. It'll probably take an hour and a half, 2 hours. Grab some lunch, maybe some wobbly pops or something like that. Maybe some giggle water. I'm going to be there handing out t-shirts and New West Reset swag. baseball hats, like mentioned, t-shirts and so on. We've got a bunch of stickers. So if you're going to be in the Calgary area, or if you're from Calgary and you want to meet up, looks like we're going to be mid-June. Of course, things could change. Keep it locked in here. I'll keep you posted. It looks like mid-June, right around the 5th anniversary. And again, everything's on me. We're going to be handing out free t-shirts, free hats, lunch, coffee, beers, all on me there, bud. And again, it's my way of thanking all of you for all of your support. What else is coming up? Well, keep your ocular sphericals locked onto the channel here for upcoming Knuckleheads episodes. That's the show that I do with Chris from Old World Exploration, where we bebop and zip around Canada and disseminate the official his story of the city or town that we happen upon in Canada, as well as look at some fantastic old photographs. I've mentioned this a couple times. Behind the scenes, cousin Vinny and I, that's Unfreemason in the chat, in the box, I've been looking into a strange narrative surrounding an old school that, of course, has since been demolished, out in Saskatchewan land. They're one province east of me. That's our favorite province to say around here on the channel, by the way. Saskatchewan. Say it with me now. Saskatchewan. Especially if it's Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Oh, that's the best day ever. I get to say Saskatoon, Saskatchewan a couple of times. Again, I'm not making fun. I love it. Love Saskatchewan. Love Saskatoon. Been there many times. I may have been born in Montreal, Quebec, but I'm a Westerner now. I'm an Albertan. I'm a prairie boy now. I'm a good old boy now out here in the prairies now, y'all. I'm a cowboy now, you see. So I ain't making fun of it. These are just crazy Canadian words and place names. That's all. Just like everywhere else in the realm. The narrative's crazy. The names and places are crazy. There's clearly a canal, but they call it a river. You know, stuff like that. Anyways, make sure you do all the things down here, like hit the notification bell that rarely works, you know, just so that you can keep up to date on stuff that's going on as we move closer to some of these dates and some of these projects that are in the works. Before I go, I'd like to leave things on a comical high note here. Let's see what we've got on the docket for wacky stuff here. Oh, yeah, I found something. This basically says everything for the weather that I've been experiencing here for probably the last, well, since the middle of April. Since spring, essentially. Since the first day of spring, it's been like this around here.
Spring is here. No, it's gone. It's gone. It's back again. Gone again. It's back again. Yeah, gone again.
I don't mean to keep harping on the weather and the snow, but, you know, it's just been wacky. Because even around here, normally it's gone by now. But every once in a while, you get a hiccup. Oh, for sure there, bud. Justin Bieber's Canadian for sure there, eh? Oh, yeah. I think he's from Ontario. Or no, is he from British Columbia? I think he was discovered on YouTube, though. So you never know. Maybe if I keep belting them out, I'll get discovered. Yeah. I can do some Ray Charles. Well, I got a woman way over time. It's good to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. No, because then I got to hang out with P. Diddy for a weekend. Never mind. Anyway, what else we got? What else we got going on here? Screwing around now. Oh, yeah, here we go. I thought this was pretty good.
Fate sail. Everything goes as... Oh, sorry. Closed due because of weather. Thanks. Do not mess with. To hell with the Alamo. Remember Pearl Harbor? You remember that shit? Huh? Hey, closed we is, all right? Closed, all right? I ain't got no electric, okay?
that's the best one right there. Close we is, all right? We ain't got no electric. Close we is. Oh man, oh man, come on, man. That's the funniest one. Hey, close we is, okay? I can't. It's got me. The spirits have got me now.
We are laughing.
Display not working. Only pray instead. Thanks. Fuck. Nurse marking in the restroom. Thank you. Oh, sorry, out of cock. Fresh out. Damn it, fresh out. We can't cook our meat right now. Sorry for the incavants, but we still got chicken sever. Sorry again. Now, y'all ain't gonna believe this, but homemade apple butter.
She made what?
Apple butter.
That hoe made some apple butter.
This vehicle is powered by 100% Aragnic Fuffle. Don't know what that is? Don't even try Googling it. I make it in my shed.
I make it in my shed. I make it in my shed. All right. Don't be a shut-in and just do weird stuff in your shed now. You got to go outside once in a while and get out there. You just got to watch out for the NPCs and stuff like that. Be more like this guy.
Black coffee.
A what?
Large black coffee.
Do you mean a venti?
No, I mean large.
Venti is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
There you go. So that is going to do it. I think that is going to wrap things up. That's going to seal the deal. Here for Frankie, New West Reset and New West Reset Live, episode 168, where we looked at curious headlines and mysterious discoveries, just examining more headlines of recent discoveries from the ancient past. Links below for everything we covered. Again, as a reminder, you can get a hold of a guy, email, BitChute, and of course, YouTube and Rumble. My location map is down there as well, courtesy of Cousin Vinny. The original Reset 1700 Mudflood documentary is still up in its entirety from its live broadcast over on Rumble. And you can see it as a 7-parter on BitChute. Also got a playlist below for all of my vintage footage videos, which I feature as the sort of halftime mid-show break here. So you can find all of that below. Once again, thank you very much. And until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right? Thanks a lot, everyone. Cheers.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma.